Yeah, no sympathy for me. You're just an idiot. I didn't think we could get that low, but apparently we are. For me, as a player, in my experience towards a game, that's not what I came to this game for. I'm here to slap monsters around. That's what I'm here for. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, seriously, what are we talking about? Whoever said history tends to repeat itself sure wasn't kidding, huh? It seems like we have, once again, Saintontas versus Mr. Pokke and Jenazad. One is kind of deserved. The other had me kind of scratching my head, and where I was like, okay, I think I kind of have to pull up here and try to shed some light on some things that we may or may not be missing for all sides. For all sides, of course. Now, my lens to what happens typically on the streets right now is Saintontas. He's the gacha CC I typically watch. Him and Smack. So I've watched this. I'm disgusted. And we had Jenazad and Mr. Pokke. Now, Mr. Pokke recently, unfortunately, seems to have really doubled down and went down the not so moral path. Strategically, for the time being, for short term, he's doing what's strategically sound. Not for long term, but a lot of people don't have time for that. And he's probably going to cash out at that point. That's my little prediction there. If Mr. Pokke was a stock, I'd invest short term. What's interesting to me is, of course, Jenazad. Now, Jenazad is, for me personally, one of the good CCs we have left in the space. I do genuinely think so. And he did some L takes when it comes to the 7 out of 10, etc. when he wasn't paying attention. We all make mistakes. We're all human. But I think that's as far as it went. And I don't think we've heard anything from Jenazad ever since. Unless I missed something, which I might have, because I haven't been really around the streets for that particular time. But that's as far as it went. Now, you will notice me looking at this. Endfield is dead on arrival. Here's the thing. We got to talk about the Arknights Endfield gacha system real quick. Now, for context, we have to talk about the Arknights Endfield gacha system real quick and kind of have to pinpoint where the problem is, because it's the source of all this drama. It's the gacha banner, not the game, not the mechanics right now, because we still don't know enough. And I think those matter a lot in how the gacha system is going to be perceived. And so until that happens, for me, I'm taking my disdain towards the gacha system with a certain grain of salt. So how is the gacha system is? What you should understand is when it comes to characters, there's like two types of pity. Like there's the 80. When you reach 80, you have the 50-50 chance. Why is a new game, a modern gacha game, coming into the streets telling us that the 50-50 is still a thing? These guys are getting away with it. We're doing it too. Any new gacha, if they want to win over the players, just get rid of that damn system. But they probably won't, because it's tend to be lucrative, and companies tend to follow what the others do. If they're successful at it, we can be successful at it too. We gotta try. And so anyway, you'll see this a lot. This is not just in games, by the way. You see it in your YouTube, CCs, everything. So that's one, right? But then if you want your guarantee, you don't have to go all the way to pity. You can just go to 120, right? So you from 80, so for example, you lost your 50-50, you can add 40 more pulls and you will get the guaranteed character. Now, there's a certain problem with this, is that this pity does not move over to the next one. All right. So say, for example, I reach 70 pity. Man, I couldn't get enough pulls. All right, I guess I'll get the next character. Yeah, that's not going to do that because pity resets every banner. So the consensus is for you to always pull when you have 120 pulls on hand so that you can guarantee the character, thus strongly discouraging random pulling. Or I think I've seen it, I think it was Jenazad who said it, impulsive pulling, right? When you're just, man, you're just hanging out with the boys. You're like, you know what would be fun, guys? What? Let's throw a 10. Let's throw a 20 or 30. Shit, it could turn gold. That'd be crazy. Let's get some dopamine. They'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. Share your screen, brother. That's as crazy as it gets when it comes to you gotta save your pulls and you gotta be strategic. That's the only thing it eliminates, basically, is that you don't get to just pull whenever you want. Now, for the initiated, like us in the gacha space, this isn't much of a problem because once you start to understand the gacha system, yeah. I remember back in my Genshin days when I started, I was very strategic in who I put my pulls into because it's an investment. I have to skip this character so I can get this character, all right? Because this is going to be the best character that's going to allow me to beat endgame content, okay? That's strategic. Now, a lot of gacha players are casual players, and these casual players are not strategic. And whether we like it or not, those are the majority. And I speak for them a bit because I'm leaning towards that side. For the uninitiated, this system is just terrible. It is horrible, horrible, horrible. And it strongly encourages spending, which I'll be honest with you, a lot of casuals are not going to be wanting to do, especially when we have a lot of free-to-play options out there. So you look at this system, for the initiated, this makes sense. For the uninitiated, it makes no sense. We can navigate it because we have prior experience. A lot of players that are just noobs, that are just coming in, they're like, Arknights, all right, hey, this looks like a good game. Oh, let me try and get these characters. Oh, wait a minute. You have to go and read a whole essay in how this gacha system works, which kind of goes against us wanting more and more players and for these games to be more mainstream and for us to grow as a community. It goes against that. All right, it makes gacha worse. All right, this isn't helping gacha because a lot of players, a lot of gamers hear the term gacha and they're like, no, don't even talk to me. They're not necessarily bad, but this Endfield definitely makes it look bad in a casual's eyes, especially one that's extra casual than me. What's even more interesting in this damn gacha system they have is the weapon banner. The weapon banner have its own resources that you cannot use the general resources. For example, we know Primo Gems, Astrites. You see, you can't use those in it. Like it doesn't. You can't just convert this generic resource into whichever resource you want in any banner. You don't have that. Weapons have this system that's unique to them, and characters have this system that's unique to them, thus making the gacha system more complicated than it should be. It shouldn't be this. So this is basically our context when it comes to this. I'm sorry if I went a bit of a tangent, but I'm trying to make it as short as possible, also while giving my own take when it comes to this. And I think it's fair to say. So what is going on with the boys? Now, Saintontas is clearly having a strong stance, as we can see here. Endfield is literally dead on arrival. I wouldn't call it dead on arrival, but then again, you got to do YouTube stuff. I think on arrival, when we see how power creep is going to be, how important and how much pressure there is to get how many characters, because I think that you have like 17 days per banner, which is decent in my opinion. I think you have 3 characters per patch. I'm assuming. So 3 characters per patch, because they have a whole system that if you lose the 50-50, you might get a premium character, which I think should be included in WoW in the Hoyo formula. We should talk about that. We should be talking about that. Is that there's a random chance you could get an X premium character that we had. That's a good idea, by the way. We should talk about that. But the fact is, without extra information in how smooth dailies are going to be, how much resources we can get, how smooth we can generate the weapon currency, etc., until these questions are answered, we cannot make a definitive argument that, yeah, this just sucks. I think 2 or 3 months down the line, we're gonna have to group up once again and talk about the state of Arknights Endfield considering the gacha banner. Because gacha banners, whether we like it or not, make or break a gacha. They do. They're that important. Now, Saintontas, as I said, have a hard stance on the gacha banner and agrees with me in the sense of, yeah, this is either gonna make or break a game, and in his opinion, this is gonna break the game, which it seems to be the case. I think if you're a predictor, if you're going to invest money on this, you're going to invest it on, yeah, this shit is not going to survive if it stays like this. Now, we have Mr. Pokke and Jenazad giving takes. Now, I took a few notes to remember what the takes are, crazy or not. I don't want to miss anything. The ones that were eyebrow raising, I took. Others that weren't as much, I didn't. I decided to pull up the Mr. Pokke's Twitter, right, where he gave his takes. And I think this is the one that I think Saintontas even showed, where he talked about you don't have to complicate your understanding of the gacha banner. Pull if you have 120. If you don't, just sit down, little pup. That's basically what it is. This is definitely how you navigate the current Endfield gacha system. Absolutely. Now, is there really an issue with this? Not necessarily. But the fact is, we have to make sure to let the players know that there's better places that have better gacha systems than this. They have to change this. This should be revised. We should talk about this. This is the way to do it as it is right now. But we gotta talk to the devs and keep pushing for changes when it comes to this system, because this is obviously non-casual friendly. For the initiated, sure, it's easy. Non-initiated, this is terrible. And I think this is where Mr. Pokke and Jenazad fail to see. And I understand them because their perspective is players that are already initiated. That's the only ones they see. They see them online. They're in these communities. You gotta understand, most players are not in these communities. And even if they are, they're just observers. And a lot of the times, they're just not that good of observers anyway. They just see things and that's it, like guys and stuff. That's as far as they go. And guys and how build characters, not necessarily other things, right? Like people are very casual, and that's the majority. That's the silent majority. You got to take those into consideration. I think if anything, those are because they're the majority. Those are the people to take into consideration. Thus, you have to make sure there's some warning label It's like you giving me a product without the warning label. Now, I want to scroll up a little bit. Okay, so we have Braxophone, actually. Am I the only one who feels Endfield Gacha is being way too overdoomed? Yes, it is, because this is what we have at face value. We still don't have enough information. So considering the information at hand, it's looking pretty bad right now. The only way to save this, which is where I'm sitting, I'm neutral, guys. I'll be honest. When it comes to Endfield, I'm neutral. You know me. If there's any fun to be had, you're gonna see me there. I'm like this opportunistic douchebag when it comes to gacha games, because I know what they are. I know what they want from me. I navigate things accordingly. I'm not typically an opportunistic douchebag, but when it comes to things that are trying to take advantage of me, you can bet your ass I'm gonna be an opportunistic douchebag. So, when you look at this, the only things that are missing is, like I said earlier, important information like how are they going to manage power creep? How are they going to manage gathering resources? Can I gather 120 pulls per patch for, say, for example, 240 pulls? If you're releasing 3 characters, can I pick 2 out of 3, or just 1 out of 3, or maybe even 1.5 out of 3? Maybe I can spend a bit. If I get like the monthly pass, I can get 2 out of 3. Which one is it? That's going to be key in how we go for Arknights Endfield from here on out. Let's see what Mr. Pokke has to say. I'm gonna be devil's advocate here. It isn't overdoomed. It's just something unfamiliar, and the same thing happened to Genshin back when it first launched. People simply hate change. That is true. Arknights Endfield is one of the only recent mainstream gachas to bring back the old Spark system while combining 50/50s, which goes against what most new gacha players have been experiencing. And I'm about to drop some gacha facts. Since Genshin, and new gacha generations have never felt the need to be patient and save up for a banner they want to commit, since they can build pity whenever they feel like. Yes, that is a system designed. It gives a certain level of freedom, which is important. However, it does come at the sneaky cost of programming you in becoming this mindless slot machine roller. Like, you just want to keep clicking the button. It's what it's there for. It's not there for you, but it does offer freedom for me. Like, for example, man, I just watched Rogue Killer's EXE. That character was hype. You know what? I throw like a 20-30 pulls, and I got Lupa. I was rewarded for the freedom, because even if I miss the 30, even if I don't get the Lupa, they didn't go to waste, and that's the key. So like, it's a double-edged sword system we're currently having, and this one, the Arknights Endfield, is also a double-edged sword. Gotta understand, ladies and gentlemen, is we are all dealing with double-edged swords. I was looking at this, and I think there's a small oversight from their part. Is you ready for this? They underestimate the audience's intelligence when it comes to grifting, but we'll get to that. 50/50s were seen as bad because you couldn't guarantee and rate up until 180, which was around industry standards for Spark. Here's the thing, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Any gacha system should take what's already good in the system and improve upon it. You keep 3 or 40% and then do what Genshin does. That's what they should have done. But see, they always take something away from it, but then they make this big good change. It's like, well, just do a good job completely. Like, why do you have to do this? Obviously, it's math. They're doing this on purpose to reach their quotas. It's like, come on. Pity carry forward itself actually changes nothing. It's just a psychological hook to get you thinking building pity is beneficial when statistically it will still take the exact same number of pulls. You just need to ration. No. See, that's bad. Here's the thing. I'd rather have this system than this system, because I can still have the freedom and the choice to throw it. If the argument here is for players to be disciplined, right? If discipline is what we're making as an argument to defend the Arknight system, the same can be applied here. If I'm disciplined enough, However, through my discipline, it's true power. It's not just a neutral standpoint. No. My discipline is true power in the current Wuwa or Hoyo system. It's called the Hoyo formula system. Because now I can just do this in this one. Plus, if I'm ever feeling like, man, I'm just bored, let's see if I get a character or not. I get the, I got a gun, but I'm jonesing. I can do that, right? And it doesn't affect me at all because I'm disciplined, just like you want players to be disciplined in Arknights Endfield. See, this system offers something that this one does not. Eventually, players realized Genshin drastically reduced the variance between players with its new 50/50 system. The lowered rates with hard pity, plus carry forward protected the unlucky players who had to spark for their rate up SSRs, effectively reducing the median pulls needed for the rate up. Arknights Endfield, the gacha serves to protect unlucky players from the worst case scenario at 180 versus 120 for a single copy. Unlucky players, typically, they just quit. I'll be honest, if I get unlucky, I start a new account or something. That's why when I start the game, I always try to do re-rolls because I need to make sure my account is as solid as it can day one. I have to make it as lucky as possible. I have to sack the shit out of that account and go from there. It's just smart gachaing. Give it time, people understand, and they will look back and see how this gacha issue will be a nothing burger. Like I said, if Arknights Endfield manages to make game balance very, very good and makes it so good that it allows us to easily navigate and overlook the bad gacha system, then the answer is going to be yes. This will become a nothing burger. But I think we can all hear my doubt when I say that. There's I don't know. I don't know, guys. I think there's a good chance that's not gonna happen. I don't know what's funnier, bro. Assessing my tweets, I think stream sniping in 2 minutes, or the guy replying is literally called the #1 Hoyo guard dog. In any case, yes, massive news flash. Every gacha is predatory. Thank you. Have a nice day. Now go play League. This loser is looking to farm some content. Saintontas posted this tweet in the Discord server. Is that it? I mean, Saintontas doesn't like you. Duh. He clearly doesn't like you. And people that don't like you are gonna spawn camp your shit. Have you been outside? We have Captain Cabernet coming to the streets. And yes, I have Mr. Pokke muted because at some point I got tired of the rage base. A regression in how people interact with gacha systems is not a W moment. It feels like a boomer take to say, back in my day, I had to walk 100 miles to get my bread. True. Any boomer ass gacha gamer, they're gonna pull up and say, you guys don't know, like, you guys are just these new Genshin guys that don't know. Shut the fuck up. What the fuck do you mean? Environments evolve. The gaming sphere evolved. It changed. There's new companies wanting that bread. They want that juice. And they're adapting. They're changing the gaming sphere in gacha for it. What the fuck is that L fucking take? Like, shut up. Things evolve. Things change. It's like your parents telling you, oh, don't video chat me because I don't know what that is. Just call me like this. I have to hold my phone like this because that's how I know it to be. No, Dad, we have a video chat now. You can look at the screen and see me and I see you. We can do that now. Oh, no. We shouldn't do that. Shut up. Things change, things evolve, man. The reasoning for saying Arknights Endfield is better than Genshin because 120 is better than 180 is a bad faith, considering a loss on a Genshin banner always translates to a win indefinitely on any banner the player chooses to pull for. In Endfield, it's this banner or bust. It's strange to say it protects you when by definition doesn't, because it's a system that always punishes you for partially pulling. Genshin system never will. Every pull is progress, even if pity is higher. There it is. We already said so. It's so obvious. Arknights Endfield is a system that literally punishes you for making progress if you don't fully commit. But I agree with one thing, is that none of this will really matter. People will either play or they won't, and there'll be a piss in the wind convo after 6 months. I wouldn't even give it 6 months. I'll give it like 2, 3. Okay. That's my projection. Okay, so he replies to that. Hi, Kate. No, all love, no war here. Maybe there's a problem with my English. Never said I wished gacha models should be worse, just like the old days. It's the direct opposite. See, therein lies the problem. You have to make sure. This is a problem Mr. Pokke has, is that he doesn't make sure to let the audience know. Just because I say this doesn't necessarily mean that I'm defending this or this is that. No, this is why. He doesn't give a disclaimer to the takes he says. A disclaimer is incredibly important. Now look, you gotta be like, now look, this still sucks, but here's maybe a way we can look at it where it doesn't be sucky as much and can allow us to still be excited for this new game. Because here's the thing. One thing I can say when it comes to defending Arknights Endfield, current gacha system, I keep saying current because I think it will change. It has to change. There's no way. I don't see myself playing for months on this shit. There's no way. I'm gonna play for the first time. After that, like this, if this remains the same, I don't know. Especially if all the characters look good. Nah. I'm out. Without giving proper disclaimer, people are just gonna interpret it in one way, which is you're trying to defend something that's obviously bad. You have to give a disclaimer. It's that simple. See, this is what Mr. Pokke does. This is why I muted his ass. He throws a bait. That was a rage bait. The lack of disclaimer is for rage bait. We get the engagement. The moment, gotcha. He got Cap, for example. Gotcha. Cap, strong enough, popular. I can... there's some good traction I can get off interacting with her. Boom. Boom. And now he's gonna say what he should have said in the disclaimer. This is what's so important. And this is why, sadly, some corners in this race call Mr. Pokke Mr. Jokey. I wouldn't call him Mr. Jokey. Like, he just tries to be like this rage bait master. But it's like, we see you. We see you. Unfortunately, Cap kind of fell for it. No one forced you to pull the banner, and self-control is a real issue with gacha game. That's not... You need to have self-control the moment you go into, let's say, for example, any game now, really. Not even just gacha. Everything is trying to give you a microtransaction. You need to have self-control. I'll be honest, man. You need to have self-control while scrolling social media. That's how bad it is. Have you seen how amazing the women look in social media? You need to have self-control there, too. too. The amount of triggers you get hit by as you scroll is insane. So yeah, self-control kind of goes into everything. This is like complaining about gambling impulses and angry that the casino doesn't stop you from gambling when you get there. It's just the lack of freedom, man. It's just the lack of freedom. The best analogy I can think of is Arknights Endfield gives insurance to get the unlucky players, but not everyone needs the insurance. Some might even be extremely lucky, which I have to also explain why the system benefits the players in 50-50s more. In a sense, these lucky players are indirectly paying for the business bottom line to make up for the lower number of pools an unlucky player would have spent. Whether that's better or worse is definitely dependent on who's the receiving end, and me explaining the business model doesn't make me a grifting rat. There it is. Mr. Pokke, for fuck, just stop at that. Stop that. Stop doing this no disclaimer ass. You already made up your mind. You're waiting for people to come in, and then you actually reveal the truth is actually what you're thinking is what everybody else is thinking. For fuck's sake. And so yeah, basically this is Mr. Pokke in a nutshell. Sorry, I kind of went on a bit of a tangent there, but I just wanted to make sure I covered everything from Mr. Pokke's side. And there's also another one which Saintontas covered. I kind of left them on my notes, so I want to talk about, which is, brace yourself, Mr. Pokke asking his viewers to share an account with him where they can spend and get all the units. Now, as a power of friendship lover myself, on paper, and a glass half full kind of guy, I think it's a beautiful thing. We all share an account. We'll all take care of it. I pulled for this character for us. You pulled for this character for us. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. On paper. But the moment you add Mr. Pokke to the equation, if he doesn't do the same as the players that spend on the account, that has got to be. And he makes content off that particular account, as in you're profiteering off that account, and you're using the fact that you're popular because those guys, like, guys want to kind of like, appeal to you. So they, they help you with that account because they like you, and you're over there taking advantage of them, not putting in as much effort as they do. Well, let's call it what it is. You're not going band for band as they do. Man, that has got to be a new low, bro. That is a new low. I didn't think we could get that low, but apparently we are. I would highly, strongly encourage Mr. Pokke to please make sure you do as much as they. Because if you don't, I don't think there's no going back. Because you'll notice, I still have a bit of respect, but you are losing it, but I still kind of have a lot of respect for you. So, make sure let's not go all the way crazy, all right? Now, let's get into my favorite part of the video. This is why I'm literally here. The Jenazad part. Now, Jenazad gave a take, in my opinion, was a pretty fair take, and I think Jenazad at this point should pull a Gacha smack where he just goes full, if he take a bag, that I'm here for the bag. I think even if Mr. Pokke should do the same, in my opinion. I'm here for the bag. If I'm given a bag, that's what's gonna matter. And I think as soon as we understand that the audience is not stupid, and that we know this is how the CC goes about doing business with these Gacha companies, because it is a business. And once the audience understand that, it allows the audience to go from, this is not socialism anymore. This is professionalism. Okay. So you're doing this because okay, I got you, bro. I got you. Okay, sure, cool. I'll just close off this video though, but you do your thing, brother. I'll be right back when we go back to the socialism, which is what I've subscribed to you for. That's it. Because that's what the audience do. There's a reason why certain videos don't do great. The reason why they don't do great is because the audience understands. They're like, it's this game. Why would he cover that game? I've never even heard of it. He's getting the back. Okay. Hey, I'm not gonna click. You know what? I might click, drop a like, and just leave. I'm showing support, but I'm not gonna watch that shit. No, you can get your back, brother. But hey, I got you, bro. I'm not gonna hate you for it. It is what it is. Because why? I know. It's because I know. The CC already let me know that I'm doing this for the bad. I know exactly how he thinks. Great. When I see things, I know that's professionalism. When I see things, I know that's the socialism I like. That's why I subscribe. I hope that makes some sense. And this is going to be important when we get to Saintontas, because I feel like Saintontas as well kind of missed the mark on this. Okay, Saintontas kind of pissed at them, understandably so. I don't know why Jenazad though, but with Mr. Pokke, understandably so. Now, Jenazad gave a pretty fair take in the sense of this is how you navigate the Gacha system, which I think all of us can agree with. However, he did give some L takes there, which if you've been paying attention to what I've been saying in the video and you know what he said, I think you can already guess. Jenazad says he has no sympathy for impatient pullers. See, the impatient pullers are just people that don't know. They don't know. They're not like impatient or anything. They don't know better. They don't understand this completely. That's the casual, normal player. They don't know, and fuck, I don't want to know. I just want That's not what I came to this game for. I'm here to slap monsters around. I'm here to build shit. That's what I'm here for. Fuck you mean? I gotta understand all these words and stuff, this spreadsheet and stuff. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, seriously, what are we talking about? For fuck's sake, like, we tend to forget this shit. Is that we're like this minority when it comes to players. Like, most players don't give a fuck, man. Have you seen, there's a new generation of gamers, man. They don't give a fuck, man. All they want to do is do exactly what the ad that got them to play. Damn. And I think that was a huge L take. It feels cold like for no reason. It's like, why? It's like, relax, bro. It's like, you gotta let them know. Look, anybody that knows better but still does this because they have a gambling addiction, no sympathy. True, we agree. If anybody knows better, for example, we'll take someone like me and cannot hold their pools and steal pools, yeah, no sympathy for me. You're just an idiot. Because at some point there has to be personal accountability. No one made you pool but you. But did you know? Well, now you do. Also, if anybody's gonna say, oh, you should know it's a gacha game. Everything has microtransactions now. Like, can we please wake up to the fact that games, for anybody that's new to games, like, there's literally microtransactions have been normalized. People look at the gacha system, they think it's like another microtransaction that they cannot participate in due to this random resource they're given. They're like, oh, I can do microtransactions without spending money. Great. That's literally what gacha is for. They condition you through the free resources to wanna pool. It's what they do. Like, let's stop this ignorance and like we're just not looking at the new players. It's like, come on, things change, times have changed. And also something that kind of got me a little like this is which one of them got the bag? Because this is Saintontas' argument is what I want to talk about. Saintontas' argument is like, you guys are grifting. Now, which one of them took the bag? I think it's probably Mr. Pokke. I think it's pretty obvious. I don't think Jenazad did. Even I think Saintontas at some point was like, I'm not too sure. Mr. Pokke clearly did. I think we have a 90% chance. He could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Jenazad, 60. I'll give him a 40% chance he did. 60 he did. Now, when it comes to grifting, I think if Mr. Pokke and, for example, Jenazad also, let's include him. We're not sure, but let's include him. If they want to grift, because of the bag, I think the audience would be more understanding if you just let them know. Kind of like what Gacha Smack does. I'll be honest, man. I'm more respecting towards someone that does something for the bag than someone that doesn't. Because like I said earlier, you let me know. At least I know when it's professionalism and when it's socialism. But when you don't, which one are you? Are you this professional? Or are you this social? Because like I can't necessarily know. Okay, sure, it makes sense. Like, okay, you're talking about Arknights Endfield now. I can put 2 and 2 together. And he's probably doing it for the bag. And he's told not to let us know. But I think as a CC, a level of clarity is incredibly important when it comes to selling your audience an idea. And you're trying to sell the idea that the gacha system is not bad. Well, it clearly has clear flaws and issues. Now, the one defense I can give to Jenazad and Mr. Pokke here is they're talking to people that are initiated when it comes to the gacha system. Most people that watch this type of content, they know better. They do. They do. Like, the casuals that I mentioned, that they don't give a fuck about in their argument, they're typically not going to be watching this shit anyway. Typically. Most of them are not. They're not in their communities. You're not going to see them there. But for those that are, and there will be some, it's not helping them. It's not helping them. You got to let them know there's better out there, which Jenazad does. And at some point, I feel like Saintontas was just trying mad hard, kind of just shit on Jenazad, which I don't know why he hates Jenazad specifically. I'm not too sure. Maybe I missed an episode. I feel like those two should just shake hands, in my opinion. Now, Saint and Mr. Pokke, that's a whole different story. I don't know, man. Also, another thing I feel like is incredibly important. If someone is doing this for the bag, it makes it fair in the sense of people just do what's strategically sound for them, typically. Like, we can understand it. It shouldn't be okay, morally speaking. It's not necessarily the best, but it makes sense when you put 2 and 2 together, considering today's norms of people just wanting anything that's financially advantageous. Like, that's the thing to do. Like, we're losing our morals, unfortunately, every single day. I don't know if you went outside, especially when it comes to Corpa. It's a bloodbath out there. It's very dirty. People just sell their morals for just an opportunity to climb the ladder. It's low, man. It's getting really, really bad. And due to this normalization, people tend to do certain things that are morally questionable, and they do them anyway. So when it comes to them grifting, like, I'm not gonna insult them for grifting. I won't, because things have become so normal. This type of behavior, for me personally, from my personal life experience, and anybody, I think for anybody that's, understands the world nowadays, yeah, this is like a lesser evil compared to the evils we have in terms of grifting. All right, this is a lesser evil. And so the way they can reduce the damage of this, because like it's fine for you to do, but just let us know. And it will remove a lot of confusion and a lot of rage thrown at you guys, is what I would say. Also, my final take when it comes to this particular topic for all of us, where would this leave us, guys? What about us, the consumers, the players, the viewers? What do we do? Well, I think now is a perfect opportunity for us to balance between the magic of things and the strategy of things. Currently, I feel like the perfect balance for us to be in is we understand what the gacha system is. That's the strategic side. Okay, we know that's considering how things are right now, there's a good chance we won't be playing this for a couple of months, but we will be playing it anyway because, you know, we're opportunistic douchebags when it comes to that particular part of our lives. It's gacha, they're trying to pick your money. Shit, why not? But also, I do want to keep my magic. I want to keep my excitement. I don't want to let this much strategy and this much understanding of how bad the gacha system is ruin my excitement and ruin my fun as I play this game. So I think it's very important. What I would suggest is, okay, I understand this now, but let me look at the good things. Okay, there's the red-haired girl, there's this, there's that, there's a whole new gacha for me. I get to have fun for a little bit. I get to interact with a new community. There's all these things for me to look forward to, and most importantly, there's still the chance that the gacha system gets revised through feedback. Let's see how they take feedback. Apparently, it's not looking good right now, but let's see how it goes from here. And more importantly, let's see how they balance the power scaling, power creep, resource management, all that good stuff. Let's see. There's still more wonder for me when it comes to Arknights Endfield. And I think that's very key for me as a player in my experience towards a game. It's a game. For fuck's sake, it's a game. I'm supposed to have fun. That's the whole point. Crying out loud, man. Let me have fun. Look, I'm all about dooming a game. Great. But now I know. Okay, thank you for letting me understand. But let's not sit here and pretend like this is just gonna kill the game. I still want to have fun, bitch. Stop telling me this is, oh, it's so bad. I wouldn't play it. Shut up. Look, let me have a taste. Let me, while it's good, while it's hot, while I have like free resources and stuff. Apparently they're giving you like a free healer and stuff. Let me have fun while I have the tools to have fun. And the moment this system doesn't enable me to have fun anymore, I'm out. But let me have fun first. Like, why are people saying, oh, you shouldn't do this? Like, this is gonna be bad. No, not yet. And it will be eventually, but not now. And I want to have fun now. Fuck. That's my 2 cents on this. Personally, I think we should all, especially these three, it should calm the fuck down. Yeah, it should calm the fuck down, is what I think it should be going on. But then again, Saintontas farms them as they take advantage of the bag. I mean, Saintontas takes advantage of the fact that they're getting a bag. Smart YouTubing. And again, like when we think about what's morally okay, it kind of goes out the window when it comes to what's strategically okay. Because I feel like, just let the people have their bread, brother. Just let them get their bags. Yeah, duh. Of course they're gonna do that, duh. But we'll call them out because there's opportunity for us as well. It's fair game. Considering, like I said, like morals kind of take a bit of a back seat when it comes to certain to strategy. There's a bit of that. I'm not too sure about this one, but I think Saintontas kind of let us know as you know, I'm farming these boys. Obviously, duh. I'm drama farming there. That's good. That's good. I think you'll notice that one thing that makes everything kind of good and like at least understandable and digestible is admission. I think with the moment there's admission, there's not much we can say about it. We can not like it, but at least we understand it. At some point, we could even respect it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, and be seeing you.